Hello, Bones and Famers. Merry Christmas. How y'all doing, huh? Doing alright? If so, good to hear. If not, I'm very sorry and I hope it gets better. But anyway, today, I wanted to talk about the Scarlet, Violet, Teal Mask, and Indigo Disc DLC and my opinions on it. So, let's just get down to it. But before we start, I want to thank the Sound of Suicune for letting me use his Fanmade Terapagos theme for my intro. I'll leave the link in the description to his channel. He makes great music. You should go check it out. So, anyway. Teal Mask. This is the first DLC that came out for Scarlet and Violet, and it was boring. I want to be completely honest with you. This DLC was very boring, and honestly, there was not a lot to do in this DLC. Shoot, I get that it's supposed to set up a character for the Indigo Disc, which is the next DLC, which I will talk about in a minute, but right now let's talk about the Teal Mask. So, the Teal Mask, you get a call on your Rotom phone, and it's, let's see, was it Clavel or shoot, I forgot the Pokemon professor's name. But somebody calls you on your Rotom phone from the school, and they're like, "Hey, get over here. We have somebody here that wants to take you on a trip." So, there's a character named Briar. She is the descendant of Heath, I believe. Yeah, I think it's Heath. But anyway, so you go on this trip with 3 other random nobody NPC students, which is a really odd choice. I don't know why. You'd think it would have been with Nemona, Penny, and Arven, the characters you actually got to know in the story, kind of like the Team Star, because I wouldn't mind Team Star members as well. Anyway, so you go to the land of Kitakami, and there you are just kind of for a cultural trip. You're just kind of there to learn about the land and its history and mythology and whatnot. You come across, and it's very oriental, as the name would imply. Yeah, I get what the aesthetic is going. It's just the map is kind of small, and it seemed like they just crammed as much stuff they could in there. But at the same time, it's not really a lot to explore. And I want to be like, the music is fine, but the ambiance just makes it kind of boring. Like, the ambiance makes me want to go to sleep and not raring and ready to go catch Pokemon at any rate. But I shiny hunted in the DLC anyway, but I'm losing track. But, so you go up to the center and the main hub area, and 2 new characters are there, Carmine and Kieran. Carmine is boisterous. Is that the right term? I don't think that's the right term. Anyway, she's very upfront about things. She will tell you if she doesn't like you. She will tell you. She's very rude, loud, obnoxious. I don't like her. And then her little brother Kieran. Reserved, he's quiet, he's shy. He's just kind of he just kind of keeps to himself. He doesn't really talk much. But she doesn't like, but anyway, Kieran doesn't like, or Carmine, I'm sorry, Carmine, the older sister, she does not like outsiders in her village. It's kind of weird, in a way. But she challenges you to a battle, you beat her, and then Kieran's like, "Holy crap, he beat you, sis, isn't that cool?" And she tells him to shut up. And she's like, throughout this DLC, Carmine is just the absolute worst. She is verbally abusive to her brother, and it's kind of like, it's just mean. Why would you want to be mean to your siblings? I don't get that. I have 3 brothers. I mean, we're mean to each other, we call each other names, but it's like out of love. I get that. Like, I'm sure a lot of other brothers do that too. We just kind of make fun of each other because it's just something fun brothers do. Anyway, Kieran, he just kind of takes it on the chin. He doesn't really stand up for himself. So, gross. Ugh. Anyway, so the director or somebody from the help center in the hub area was like, hey, I'm an old person. He doesn't have a name. I don't know why he doesn't have a name. But he's just this old help person that's like, I want you guys to group up and go see the lands of Kitakami. Go visit these post signs and, you know, take a picture and learn what you can about the land. And so you pair up with Kieran. And you go throughout the land and you go to these signs, and you learn about them, and you learn about the lore about this like violent ogre being defeated by the Loyal Three. But the thing is, Kieran likes the ogre. He thinks the ogre is cool in this story. He wants to meet the ogre someday, if it does exist. And you start to learn that, hey, Kieran's kind of a younger brother, just telling you how he really feels. It's kind of sweet in a way, because like I said, I have younger brothers, and I can kind of relate to that. But anyway, you take these two pictures, and once it's nighttime, you go to this festival, and you have to meet up with Kieran and Carmine, and go to the festival with them. And this is let's see here. What do I say? Come on, think. I might have to cut the video here. Oh shoot. Can't find the words. Shoot. I've lost track. Oh shoot. One moment, please. Okay. I've gathered my thoughts. I'm not good on camera, which is weird, but I want to talk about this. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again. Sorry for the ramblings. Anyway, you go to this festival, and it's like it's nice. There's candy and food and one game you can play. It's called Ogre Ousting, and when you walk up to this game, you have to collect as much berries as you can and stack them in the right places before, Squavit and Greedent take these candies away from you. And Carmine is like, I bet you can't beat my record. And you can beat the record on your first try if you actually want to. It's kind of fun to watch you get flustered over it. So after that, if you do beat it, she will try to beat it. And I guess Kieran goes off somewhere. I don't remember. But as Carmine is trying to beat your new high score, you see the ogre in the distance, kind of just watching the festival kind of in the darkness, I guess. And you follow the ogre, and it gets kind of startled. And Carmine runs up, seemingly out of nowhere, and she's like, whoa, what the heck? What's this lost child doing here? That's a cool mask, though. So the ogre gets startled by Kieran and just, like, runs up this flight of stairs, and the mask drops. And we see that this is not a kid, it's a Pokemon, it's Ogremon. And honestly, my first thought was, it's adorable. But I didn't think I could find a legendary Pokemon cute, because they're usually like menacing, towering, divine dragons or whatnot. Anyway, it drops the mask, it runs off, and we see that the mask is cracked. And then we're discussing, like, holy crap, that was the ogre, what's it doing here? And Kieran comes along, and he's like, hey, what you guys doing over here? Are you talking about me? And you have choices like, hey, actually, we met the ogre. But before you could say anything, Carmine shuts you up, and she's like, no, we're not talking about anything at all. And Kieran starts like, oh, you guys really are just talking about me. Okay, then. He kind of gets sad, and I'm like, why are you roping me into your lies? I don't want to lie to this kid. And she's like, hey, if we tell him about it, he might feel left out or jealous or something. I'm like, it's better than lying. Like, oh man, I did not want to railroad Kieran to a lie. I hated it. But anyway, we lie to him, and we take the masks to their grandparents, to their grandparents, when learn that Kieran and Carmine are the descendants of these ancient mask makers that made mask from the Terra crystals, I believe. And it's kind of interesting because the grandparents are like, hey, this is the actual truth. The Loyal Three are evil, and the Ogre is good, which is a twist I'm sure a lot of people saw coming. But they didn't want to tell the people because they're like, they might get angry, they might get confused. It would just cause a whole uprising, I guess, or uproar. And so they're like, hey, we can't tell Kieran about this. Why can we not tell Kieran about this? I don't understand. And it turns out Kieran's been listening this entire time. And you fight him a couple more times. And you have to lie to him about what we were talking about. And you could just kind of see him getting angrier and like more frustrated. And he feels like betrayed because you were kind of his only friend there in the beginning. And you just kind of lied to him. It gives me a yucky feeling. Ugh. I don't like it at all. So after you, so you got to fight him again at the Loyal Three, shoot, what's it called? No, the shrine. It's got like little carvings of the Loyal Three. You beat him there, and he gets mad, and he punches it. He punches the altar, and after that, the altar explodes, and the Loyal Three get revived. I don't know why they get revived. So they look at us, they look at each other, and they start planning, and they run back to the village. And so we're like, crap, we gotta go tell the villagers. And we get to the village, and they have like fed them, and they have gave them Herba Mystica, which is not good in any case. So you have to go around town and ask where they are, where people have seen them. And they're just kind of like in these 3 random spots on the map, which is, like I said, a very small map. I don't like it. It's not a fun place to explore at all. But, so you go there, you defeat the Loyal Three, and, you get Ogerpon's mask back, because, I'm skipping over some details. Oh my goodness. But that's pretty much the gist of it. They took Ogerpon's mask after they were fed, and so you have to go around and take the mask back and give him to Ogerpon. And before you can catch Ogerpon, Kieran's like, no, I want the ogre. I want the ogre. It's my Pokemon. He's like, I know it's selfish, but I want the ogre. But so you have to fight Kieran over Ogerpon. You win. He gets extremely frustrated at himself, and then you fight Ogerpon after that. And Ogerpon was about one of the only interesting fights in the Teal Mask, because he has a special terraforms. You have to beat each form while he uses each mask. It's super interesting, and he uses different typings. It's kind of cool. I liked it. It's definitely worth the wait, and you can catch him in any Pokeball, because after that, it's like a raid battle. It's a guaranteed catch, so you can catch him in any kind of Pokeball you want. So after you catch the ogre, Kieran gets jealous. He apologizes though, and he runs off crying like a child. And I feel bad for the kid. He's just, And after that, that's pretty much the whole story for Teal Mask. A lot of Gen 2 and Gen 5 representation in with the Pokemon. I didn't mind it. There's a good couple Gen 1s in there as well. Honestly, like I said, it's supposed to set up Kieran. I don't know why I started ranting off about Pokemon, because I wasn't even done talking about the story. My mind tends to wander, and I don't know why. Anyway, after you beat the story, it goes to a cutscene of Kieran in his room, and he's like tying up his hair, and he has this like kind of cocky, smirky grin, and he's like, "I'll get stronger, and I'll beat you this time." And then it says, "To be continued." That's the end until the Indigo Disc. Teal Mask, very boring. Music wasn't exciting, well, except for the Loyal Three. I like their music. It's actually my ringtone. It's very oriental, and I like the way they utilized it. And I didn't enjoy the Teal Mask because, like, you can set up a character and make it interesting before the final episode. Because I just didn't really have fun with the Teal Mask. I mean, I got it and I wanted it because it helped me fill up my Pokedex. But that's my honest opinion on the Teal Mask. So, there's that. Okay, so 3 months after December, I think it was last week or the week before, Indigo Disc dropped. And I'm going to say this outright. I love the Indigo Disc because it is canonically in the Unova region, or as a lot of you know, Black and White, which is my favorite region, even while it got all the hate and it was probably the least selling Pokemon game. I didn't care. I enjoyed Black and White. It was fun. And I'm happy we got to hear some remixed music in the Indigo Disc. It was very fun, but anyway, I'm losing track here. You get invited to the Blueberry Academy because Carmine and Kieran invited you over, and so you come here and to take on the Elite Four, which consists of 4 characters. Let's see here, Drayton. He is a very chilled, laid-back character. I think he's the son or grandson of the Dragon Gym Leader in Black and White. It's been so long since I played that game. I forgot his name. Shoot. What was it? I don't remember. Drayton. He uses dragon types. You fight Lucy? I don't remember their names. I'm just gonna tell you what types they are. What types they use. Dragon, Steel, Fairy, and Fire. Very interesting. They all have competitive teams, like with items and IVs and everything. It's actually quite tough. And the champion of the Blueberry Academy is Kieran. And his fight, oh my goodness, it is really tough. Shoot, like, I actually struggled a lot. He almost beat me. I can't think of what else to say. Because, oh man. I got a loading screen in my brain right now, trying to think of what else to say. Because I can't think of the words. Oh shoot, this is so unprofessional. I'm sweating right now. I am sweating right now. I need to roll up my sleeves. It's kind of toasty in here. I'm gonna turn on the fan real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on, please. Shoot. Have I gathered my thoughts? Probably not. Oh, gross. Ugh. I've been talking too much. I need a drink. I'll get one later. You guys have been waiting long enough. So, like I said, Kieran is tough. He also has a competitive team which consists of mostly dragons. But I think he has a couple counters if you have counters for his team. So, just be wary of that. Shoot. But his ace of the team is the new Dipplin evolution Hydrapple, which is incredible looking. I think it's one of the better Pokemon designs like in any gen, which is a lot to say, but I like it. It's pretty cool. Shiny's good too. I like the shinies. I like the shiny for it. So you beat Kieran. He comes out of this like delusion of I'm the strongest, I can't be beat, and he's just kind of broken a little bit. And he's trying to come to the terms of like, maybe I have to beat him. I have to beat the player. I need to beat the player. So after you beat him, Briar, she calls you, Kieran, Carmine, and Drayton to a classroom. She's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go dive into Area 0. There's more below it. And below it is Terapagos. And Terapagos is the legendary of the Indigo Disc. And you're like, wait, there's something deeper in Area 0? I thought we've already been down there with the lab. But she's excited, she's got clearance, we all, you know, we're all ready to go, and Drayton's like, I don't want to go. So Drayton, he's cool, okay? I like him, he's fun. He speaks his mind and he does what he wants to because he can. But, so after you group up, you have a plan. You go back to Paldea into Area Zero, and once you go down to the lab, the elevator you take to where you fought Sada and Arturo. It goes down even further, where there's this massive cave of like just Terra crystals forming everywhere. And once you get down there, you see the areas you need to go to are blocked off, like you can't get past. But there's this Glimora on the side, and it has this special Terra glow to it. And when I first saw this, I'm like, oh, please tell me it has a terraform. Please tell me they give Pokemon terraforms. But no. It is the 19th type, the 19th Terra type, which is called Stellar type. And I don't know how to feel about it. It's kind of disappointing. I mean, it's cool that it has all the types stuck around its head, but what throws me off is the little Terapagos also on the head. It looks kind of ridiculous. But anyway, that's the new type. It's Stellar. You have to go and find these Pokemon, beat them, and then the passageway near the end will lead. Yeah. I can't talk. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you unblock the pass leading down to where Terapagos is. So you have to beat these Pokemon. I will dive into what the Stellar type is and how I feel about it after I'm done talking about the story. But anyway, you make your way down, and there's this massive crystal room, and in the center is this little teal indigo gem, which is, I'm pretty sure, is intentional because of the coloring and what the DLCs are called. I'm stating the obvious, I don't know why. And so Kieran runs up to it, and he's like, finally, if I use this Pokemon, I can beat Sully. So he eventually pulls this crystal out, and it flies past him and lands in front of us, and it transforms into the base form of Terapagos, which I'm going to say is also very adorable. It's cute. But it starts walking towards your character, and Kieran's like, no, you're not doing that, and he pulls out a Master Ball and catches the Legendary. So, which is cool because we usually don't have to fight an NPC with the Legendary. Because I don't think we've ever done that since Gen 5 actually, in or Ghetsis, which was nice in my opinion. But anyway, Kieran, he throws it out, and you beat him, and he's like, wow, even with this Legendary, I couldn't beat Sullivan. And Briar's looking through his book. She's like, no, dude, this thing is terastallization. This thing caused it, it created it. You need to terastallize it. And Kieran's like, alright, cool. So he terastallizes it, and it has its own unique terraform, which it's it's cool in its own right, but I'm also disappointed because I thought it would look better. I might be being picky. I'll show you what it looks like right here, and you can just kind of tell me your opinion in the comments below what you think of it. Anyway, it loses control, and Briar and Carmine are like, hey, you need to return this thing to its ball. And so Kieran tries to, and the Master Ball breaks in two, which is not something that usually happens. So you and Kieran team up, beat Terapagos, and then you catch Terapagos for yourself. And then after all of that, you go back to Blueberry Academy, and Kieran's walking up, and he's like, dude, listen, I'm sorry I lost control. Can we still be friends? And your character just kind of nods, and you run off. And that's the end of the Indigo Disc, Blueberry Academy. Honestly, much better than Teal Mask. I enjoyed it a lot more than Teal Mask. It was definitely worth the wait. Like I said, Black and White was my favorite. A lot of Gen 5 love went into this DLC, and I could not have been happier. So, after you do that, you have this whole terrarium to explore. There's 4 different biomes. There's a polar, a savanna, a tropical, and a canyon biome. Each with its own unique Pokemon, and each with 4 different starters from each gen except Gen 9, which I think is awesome. But the way you have to get these starters is by collecting blueberry points and going to your this computer and unlocking it. The only problem is that each biome for the starter, each biome for the starters to unlock is like 3,000, and that takes a while, especially if you don't have friends to play with and you're doing it by yourself. But I did it. I completed my Pokedex. And for completing the Pokedex for the Indigo Disc, you get an interesting reward. It's a Mark Charm. It increases the odds of, you know, encountering a Pokemon that has a mark. So I didn't mind it. It's kind of cool. There's a lot of other features you can unlock with these blueberry points. You can get more details for your camera. You can change up your throwing style. You can detail your room. You can unlock machines. You can differentiate your throwing style, which is like from other gym leaders. It's nice. I didn't mind it. It's a bit grindy, but I didn't mind the grind. I quite enjoyed myself, and I found a ton of shinies doing this. I can show a few right here if you want to see. But that's my honest opinion. Like I said, worth the wait, and that's like I said, that's all I have to say. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys listening to me just talk and rant about nonsense. And shoot, there was something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, hold on a minute. You remember Sully, don't you, my good old skeleton buddy? I left him here. So there's a reason y'all haven't been seeing Sully. It's because I have been trying to practice ventriloquism so I can make him talk without having to edit the film just to pan to him and then cut me out just talking. I think it'd be much more entertaining if I learned ventriloquism just to make Sully talk here. So I don't feel confident enough in my abilities to do it yet because I've only been practicing for 3-4 days. But that's why you haven't been seeing Sully here. So I hope I get to use him soon, and I get my ventriloquism down at least decently. So like I said, thanks again, guys, so much for watching. I didn't think I would reach a little over 200 subscribers by the end of the year. So I appreciate you guys, and y'all have a great Christmas. Okay, I probably have one more video before the end of the year after this one. So y'all have a great day. Okay, Merry Christmas. Take care, y'all. Later.